it's your girl Self Made back with another video. What's up? I hope everybody's day is going great. My day is going great, or whatever. So this is what I'm going to be talking about, as you can see by the title, thumbnail, whatever you see first, or whatever. But I'm sitting here thinking, yo. But it's a story time about, how was my first day of school or whatever. When I was in school. I'm not in school now. So every year, well, when I was in school, of the 12th all the way to the 12th, I would be so excited to go to school. I love school because, I love school until I got to like middle and high school, because I had all them classes and shit like that. I'm getting tired of that. Like, why we got so many damn classes, and why the classes so damn long? I hate sitting, because honey, if I sit too long, I will fall to sleep. Like, I got to move or whatever. But I was so excited when it was almost school time, because you would get new shoes, new clothes, and you would have your hairstyle. You would see your friends that you saw half of the summer. Maybe then you meet new friends or whatever. But at the same time, for me, when I was getting ready, when I was excited, but I was shy because I didn't know nobody. Because some of my friends, they went to the same school with me, but some of them moved. But I would be excited, and then I'd be like shy and stuff, and everything. But like after a couple months after the school comes in, then I'd be like, oh yeah, I like school. And then I'd be talking with my friends and everything. But when we had to move on the other side of town, that where I live, I'm not gonna tell y'all where I live, but we had to move on the other side of town, and I didn't know nobody over there. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know who went to school over there or whatever. The only person I knew over there was my ex, because his uncles knew my uncle, and that's how I knew him. But we was friends then. We wasn't dating or nothing. And actually, I really didn't know he liked me until he told me or whatever. But the only person I knew over there was my ex and my homegirl, T. I'm going to just say T or whatever, because she lived in the same neighborhood with me. She rode the same bus with me, and we went to the same school. So it was only them two I knew over there. So I was like, I didn't want to move or nothing, because I didn't know nobody on that side of town or that school area. So when I moved there on that side of town, and when I went to school there, I was quiet because I didn't know nobody. Personally, I am a quiet person. Like, if I don't know you, I'm not about to sit here and kiki with you like, oh, we besties, or we been knowing each other for a long time. Me, I sit back and I be quiet, and I really observe and everything. So that's how I was when I went to school over there. So like I said, I only know 2 people from over there. So everybody else was strangers to me. So I didn't really talk to nobody until I met a couple friends. They was cool and stuff, but they was cool, but they was like always in some shit, like drama shit. And so I wasn't fucking with that, because me, I didn't do drama when I was in school. I always stayed to myself and mind my business. I just went to school to do my schoolwork and get the hell out of there. So I didn't really fuck with them. I just kept it cordial with them. So, and then that's when I saw my ex. That was my friend before he was my boyfriend, but he's not. Yeah, my ex, he was like, hey, Self-Made. He said, I didn't know you go to school here. I said, this is my first day here. I said, I never went to school over here. He was like, oh, okay. He said, you mean show you around, and everything and all that. And I was like, sure. And like, mind y'all, before we started dating or whatever, he would walk me to my class and everything. Every class. First period, second period, third period, fourth period. I don't know how many classes we had, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. And I was like, I don't need you walking me to my class. I'm cool. He like, I just want to walk you to the class. So that should have gave me a hint right there. He liked me. But I wasn't paying attention. I was just walking and looking at everybody playing around in the hallway, being late for class. And I was like, why he keep walking me to class? And then, like, after our classes was over, he would be standing in the hallway waiting for me to take me to my another class. And I'm like, what the world? So, yeah. So, I don't know. I just didn't like that school. And then when I went to high school was, high school and the other middle school that I went to before I went to the one that I didn't like, those two schools was the best year. The best school year. Cause, whew, honey, I had fun. I had fun in high school. I have so much memories, so much story to tell y'all, or whatever. But yeah, I had fun in high school. In the middle school that I went to before I moved on that side of town. Now, the high school that I'm talking about is on the same side of town that the middle school I went to that I didn't like. But then when I went to high school, I have saw most of the people that I knew. They must have moved on this side of town. I was like, dang, now I see everybody I know. So they move over here or whatever and everything. And then, now mind you, me and my ex that we was friends. Me and him, we was in the same grade or whatever. Wait, was we? No. We was in the same. I was in a grade higher than him. I'm older than him. So, like, I'm like a year older than him or a couple months older than him. I don't know. But I was a grade higher than him. So, I'm older than him. So, when we went to high school, but one of my homeboys, we call each other sister and bro, he was like, sis, so-and-so likes you. And I was like, how you know so-and-so like me? Talking about him, my ex. And he was telling me that he was telling, my ex was talking to him and talking about me, talking about how pretty I was and everything else and how different I was different than the other girls. And I was like, oh, really? He was, now mind you, my ex didn't know that my bro that I call my brother, my homeboy that I call brother, we was tight like this. He would tell me everything that's going on in the school because he knew everything. Because everybody would come tell him because he really didn't do drama. Everybody would tell him everything. So we had lunch together and he sat with me. And because I sat by myself, I didn't sit with any people. But he came over there and sat with me. He's like, what's up, sis? He said, I need to talk to you. I got a word with you. And I was like, what I do now? I said, I ain't even do nothing. He said, you ain't do nothing. He said, I got something to talk to you about. So that's what he had to talk to me about. He was telling me that my ex liked me. And he was talking about me, talking about how pretty I was to him and everything. And then my bro, he was like, why don't you just shoot your shot, man? He was like, I'm shy, man. He was like, I don't know. She might not like me. He said, you won't know if you just shoot your shot or whatever. Now, my bro, he knows me. He know how I am. He knows everything. And my ex didn't know that he knew me. So, he's sitting here trying to give him hints and stuff. He not paying attention. So, then when my bro came and told me when we was at lunch, and I was like, oh, really? He likes me. Now, mind you, me and my bro was talking. And he's in the same lunch. My ex was in the same lunchroom as us. And then he was like, he came over there. Well, he didn't come over there. He was walking on the other side because his friends was over there. But he walked past us and he was like, y'all know each other? Everybody thought me and my bro, when I say my bro, he not my real brother, but we like homeboy and homegirl, but we claim each other as sister and brother because that's how our relationship was. And then people really thought we were sister and brother because we looked similar alike. He was light skinned too, and he was nice looking. And I'll be telling people, they didn't believe us. They really thought we were siblings. So we just say, yeah, we are, but we really wasn't. But he came over there. My ex came over there. He was like, you know her? You know him? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, that's your brother? And I was like, no. I say no, but yes, if you get what I'm saying. And then after lunch, he talked to my bro. He said, did you tell her what I said to you? He like, nah, I didn't tell her. But he did. He played it off like he didn't, but he did. So after that, I kept getting, little notes. You know how you write notes to your little crush or whatever? So I was getting notes from people. Like, well, this one guy, he was my ex-friend. He said, here, here, Clarissa. He said, it's a note for you. And I was like, who is writing these notes for me? I kept, before I knew that he liked me, before my bro told me, I kept getting notes and stuff. And I'm like, whose notes, because he never left his name. He just wrote stuff. He just wrote, how he felt. So I'm like, okay, who is passing these notes to me? I want to know. So when his friend gave me the notes, and I was like, who's passing these notes? Who's giving you these notes? He said, I can't tell you. And I'm like, why you can't tell me? You the one giving them to me. Like, who is it? And then he was like, and my ex was down the hallway. He was just standing there looking and watching him giving it to me. And I'm like, because, he didn't tell me who gave it to me, but it's like, he said, you're going to find out one day. I said, I'm going to find out one day. What are we doing? Playing a game here? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So finally, when I found out who it was, and I was like, really? I said, why you didn't tell me? He was like, I was shy. He's like, I was scared you would reject me. He said, I didn't know what to say to you. Woo. I said, just be honest and be, blunt with me. I said, that's the type of person I am. And he was like, and I kept the notes because I was trying to figure out who was it. Like, when I tell y'all I was stressing out trying to figure out who this guy was passing these notes to me. And I was like, who is it? I was thinking it was this guy. And I was so wrong. And I was like, this shit stressing me out. I said, I gave up. And then that's when he came out of nowhere and he told me. And I was like, oh, you like me? And he was like, yeah. So after we left middle school, we went to high school as a couple. We dated probably 3 years. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. So that was 4 years. So we was together for 4 years. And then after that, he started, I don't even want to talk about that part. But we was together for 4 years. And, I don't know how to explain it, but he was a good person. But it was just the communication wasn't there. He was a sweetheart and everything, but the communication wasn't there. I was mostly in the relationship communicating, and he would just look at me, and I'm like, are you gonna say something? And we used to be on the phone all the time and everything, and I was losing interest in him because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. I was losing interest. And then when he noticed that I was losing interest, I was falling back from him. I wasn't calling him. And he asked me, he was like, you don't call me no more. And I told him, I said, because you don't communicate. It's like, I'm in a relationship by myself. I feel like I'm by myself. You don't talk to me or nothing like that. So, and I was telling him, and then when I told him that, that's when he started, you know, cheating and everything. And I was like, oh. I said, so this is what we doing. I said, okay. I said, you know what? It's cool. I'm going to just leave you where you at and do what you do. So when we broke up, we didn't talk to each other. We didn't even look at each other way or nothing like that. I was like so disappointed because I really liked him or whatever. But, you know, you got to move on. So after we broke up and everything, then we had a class together. I was like, oh my God. So why I have a class with him? Like, why? So me and him in the class. He's on that side over there. I'm over here. He just staring at me. And I'm like, why the fuck is he staring at me? But yeah. But my first day of school was awesome, y'all. It was great. I was so excited but shy at the same time and nervous. But yeah. But that's all I had to say. I know I put, you know, the first day of school and then talk about my ex. I had to put that in there because, yeah. Oh, excuse me, y'all. But yeah, I had to put that in there because, like I said, I only knew 2 people over there. So it was him and my other friend, my homegirl, that I still talk to today. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and I'll be back with another video. Bye.
She